All right, welcome back, folks, to another episode of Cheers to Health. Of course, you got to have me, the number one host, Brian Badman Torres. Woo! And of course, I got to have Omar here to back me up a little bit. Omar, the dad, the guy behind the scenes who's done he's pretty much the main reason for this. So, Omar Torres.
Yeah, dude. Hey.
Woo!
We got a good one today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we move forward on that, I just want to give another shout out to Omar Torres, man. Like I said, you do a lot, and I appreciate it. I noticed all the stuff that you do behind the scenes, and shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. So yeah, today, Omar, as you were saying, there's the koozies are in. So if you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit us up, and we'll get you a koozie. The first batch is for free. So come holler at me.
Go ahead. Get that. Subscribe. Do the stuff.
Cheers to health.
Cheers to health. Today, we have somebody that, we've mentioned before on the podcast here and there, because he's been doing some crazy stuff, man. Okay. He's been lifting some heavy weight. And it doesn't matter what age. He's killing it, dude.
Absolutely.
Breaking records and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, he's gonna tell us a story. He's gonna tell us how, he started in this powerlifting journey, and throughout that, how he went through some stuff. And you know what? He's still doing it. Tom Fahey.
Let's go, Tom Fahey.
I think that's how he. Oh, hang on, let me see. Oh, it went in the junk. That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he's getting there. I think I said his name. But yeah, dude, this weekend went to check out Eric. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool little shindig, man. I don't usually go to those kinds of
festivities
events.
Okay.
So it was cool to kind of experience that.
There you go. Absolutely.
Last time I went to something like that was, I think I just turned 21 or something. But it was at a rave. So that kind of little vibe, dude. We were like, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Getting it, dude. We were like, doosh.
The lighting better?
It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna post some stuff up with that little video of the weekend. Mm-hmm. It was, I coached the last game for my dude.
Shout out.
We didn't do so well, but you know what? I wasn't even worried about when I was like, dude, we're just here to have fun today. Let's do it. Let's put it in everybody and let's get it. And my other guy scored a goal.
There you go, Mav.
Boom.
Madman.
Not Mav, Easton. Easton scored the goal.
Oh, I think
Maverick almost scored. Scored.
Whose last game was it?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
It was both their last games. Yeah, they both they did well. They did a lot better than last year. Of course, they're getting older and stuff. They're understanding the game a little bit better.
Yep.
Plus, dude, I've been training them. Okay, every day when they get home from school. Oh, and speaking of, there he is. He's here. Tom Fahey.
That bad man.
Is that how you say your last name?
Fahey, F-A-H-E-Y.
Got it.
Yep.
Sweet.
Got it, man.
Got it right. How you doing today?
Yep. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. And you?
We're hanging in there. Mm-hmm. Just, doing a little recap of the weekend. My boys had their last soccer game and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Both the grandkids had their last soccer games. That was fun.
Yeah?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. How old are your grandkids?
It's 5 and 7, so it's still herd soccer.
Yeah.
Yep. Same. That's how old my kids are. 4 and 7. But yeah, you can see the difference too from like each age at that kind of little age gap. How advanced they get every year. It's crazy. It's like, wow, he's actually understanding how to do it. He's actually doing
It
stuff.
starts rolling. It rolls really fast when they're about 8 to 10. They actually start really learning soccer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I used to have, when I coached kids soccer, I used to have kids that were doing the Brazilian drills by the time they were 12, which, is the touches to each foot and thighs and everything. I'm like, it's amazing when they start putting it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. And you
Omar,
had,
you ever play soccer?
some. No, I didn't play competitively.
What about you, Tom? Did you ever play soccer, Tom?
I played growing up, and then I played in college, and then I coached Premier for about 12 years.
Oh, wow. There you go. Awesome. And where'd you go to college at, Tom?
I started out at DePaul in Chicago, and then I transferred down to a college called Marion College in Indiana.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Then I went to Indiana State graduate school when Bird was there. You've heard of Larry Bird.
Oh, yep. We have, I guess the little guy hasn't.
We have, our other brother, he was lost when we were talking about Larry Bird. He didn't know who that was. And we were like, what is wrong with you?
Is that right?
Well, he was undergraduate when I was graduate school, and the other power forward on that team was Brad Miley, and he was from my hometown, and was a real good friend of my brother's. So it's kind of fun to watch those guys play. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What? Are you all right? Remember we were talking about how you got smacked in the head?
I got in the way of a softball yesterday. Playing softball, and someone decided to take my head off from the outfield. But
oh wow.
Feeling better than I thought.
Good. Good.
Still eating soft food.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah.
It was fun. I don't want to do that too often.
Yeah, so. I was telling Brian about it. But yeah, Tom was over there hitting home runs, and then they were about tired of it, and they were like, "We gotta take him out somehow."
We gotta take him out,
and that's what happened.
We gotta take him out.
I just crossed home plate, took 2 steps, and next thing I know, I was on the ground.
Bam.
So,
oh wow,
got him.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it wasn't fun, but I mean, the game was fun up until then.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So, yeah.
So Tom, this year on the podcast, we're bringing our guests on, and we have this health and fitness, health and wellness podcast going on, and we are having people like you who are doing awesome things. Tell us about their journey. So if you could, please kind of tell us how you got into this, how you started from, growing up to where you are now.
It's funny because I was trying to think a little bit about it when I knew we were going to chat. And I had a lot of illness in my immediate family. My dad had lost 2/3 of his lung when he was 44. He had multiple sclerosis. My sister had multiple sclerosis. She was in a nursing home over half her life. Both of them died at 52. And I always felt that I was blessed with health, I owed it to myself to work hard and always take care. Now, anything can happen anytime. I've had multiple rounds of cancer. So, but you owe it to yourself if you're healthy to take care of yourself. So I played youth sports. I was into anything. I was a nut. I mean, baseball, hockey, I didn't care. I mean, soccer. I mean, just so we were playing. And then what I found when I got done with college and I was in graduate school, there's no organized sports. All of a sudden I'm like, what are you going to do? So I actually started, that's when I started lifting. And My problem is I can't do something just to do it. I have to have a goal. It's like I have to set a, like I don't want to just be a good runner or just a good something. I want to be as good as I can be. I started lifting in graduate school, and by the time I was 26, I was setting records. And I never wanted to be big, and I refused to ever do anything enhancing. I don't believe you should do that to your body. So I really, it just kind of, it got to be fun. I mean, I was setting records by 26. Then I got married, had kids. While they were young, I decided I moved to Kansas City, Missouri, and fell in with a really great group of guys. And we were young back then. And there was a 132 pounder, 165 pounder, and I was a 148 pounder. And we started training hard together. These were good lifters. And in 1991, in St. Louis, I won the national championship. And I weighed 148 pounds, and I squatted just under 500, and just right at 600 on my deadlift, and set world records. And then it was funny. I set it aside because my kids were old enough that I started coaching soccer. Next thing I know, I was coaching 2 soccer teams. Then I actually coached 3 soccer teams for a while. That's enough exercise. And I always played church basketball. So I was maybe 6 practices a week with soccer players and then a couple nights in basketball. So I really didn't lift for a long time. I mean, I stayed in shape. Then my wife was a distance runner, and she said, "Why don't you run with me?" So I decided if I'm going to run, I have to do a marathon. So I trained and I did marathons, and I qualified for Boston, ran a 3:17 in my 40s, and 60 miles a week for a few years. Decided that that was enough of that, switched over. But I've always believed you stay fit. I had a good friend who was an Olympic rower, and we went to train in college, graduate school together. And he actually got horribly out of shape, in his 30s. And I hadn't seen him in a few years. I said, "What happened to you?" And he goes, "Man, it's so easy to quit. Don't quit." He said, "It's so easy to quit." And now I will tell you that eventually he actually got back into shape, and he got. But he said it was miserable for 6-8 years when he got out of shape. So I've always, that's one of the fun things. I've always said, hey, whatever you're doing, do it. Stay in shape, push yourself. I mean, I'm 70 now, and you have to push. It will hurt. But I think if you want to maintain muscle mass, you want to be able to go play softball. I'm going to go high country fly fishing up at 10,000 feet in a next Thursday this week now. So if you want to keep doing things, you got to work hard at it. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
So
that's great.
And now, after 32 years of not competing, I met guys like Omar over to Y and decided I had to try it again. And last year, I was able to set the national record for the 65 to 69, and then turned my birthday, and I went out and got the 70-plus record. So I don't know why. It's just one of those things. You get in a gym, you got some people you like, you start working out, and you enjoy the camaraderie, and you can push yourself.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that we try to push is community. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that you go on and do it by yourself, but is it going to be something that you're going to sustain or kind of enjoy? I guess because that's what it is. Whenever we do things, is we're enjoying the process. Absolutely. And having the people with us to kind of push us. Like you push me all the time, and I'm like over there, like, oh, well, I'm just over here trying to chill out. Yeah, and he's like, nope.
Yeah, sometimes
put more weight on there.
Omar will come hollering at you because he'll be saying, "Tom made me do this," or "Tom pushed me to do this." I'm like, "Well, good."
I tried to get him to jump in with me today, but I did teach him lockout leg extensions the other day. That was fun, wasn't it?
Oh,
That was
yep,
miserable.
yeah.
I was telling
Yeah.
him about that.
Yeah. No, it's been, the funny thing is probably my favorite sport in my whole life was basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And being 5'6", well, I used to be 5'7" before I lifted too much, but that was the biggest challenge. And I mean, I loved basketball. I'd play it anywhere, anytime, morning, night, and I had a great vertical because of Olympic and powerlifting. And the only times I've been taken to a hospital injured is off a basketball court. 2 different times. That is when you're 5'7" and you jump, you have to land. And I broke my ankle twice, and I dislocated my big toe on another time. So it was.
Of course.
I learned eventually to play closer to the ground. I could play fast, but closer to the ground.
There you go.
Yep, I tried to play. What'd you say?
People ask all the time with heavy lifting, don't you get hurt? I've never been hurt in the gym. Well, maybe pinched a finger between plates or, something. But if you're doing it right and you've been taught the right way to do it, it's one of the safest places you can be.
Yep.
So
that's why I always try to tell people.
Soccer field, a little more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Football, I didn't even try because I knew I with my personality, I probably killed myself on a basketball field. On a football field.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I always try to tell people when they go in there starting lifting is like, let's go lightweight, man. You ain't here to show off nobody. Just lightweight, and let's get this form down correct, okay? And then we can start graduating up a weight. But until you can hit this many reps with that perfect form, I don't want you going up any more weight. Because that is a big thing that you even see nowadays, man. People just going in there and just trying to look cool or whatever it might be, trying to lift heavy and hurting themselves.
That is so true what you said. When I first, I was in Indiana State graduate school, and I went down to the gym, and there's a guy there. He had been a bodybuilder, and he had quit bodybuilding. He was running marathons. Now, he looked like a bodybuilder still. I don't know how he ran marathons. But I said, Gene, I met the guy, and I said, I want to learn to lift. Will you teach me to lift? He goes, yeah, I'll teach you to lift if you'll do exactly what I say. Yep. So, and I was in shape. I mean, I played college soccer. I mean, I'd worked out. And he has me deadlifting, and he wouldn't let me go 135 pounds.
Yep.
I think I've told you the story. Doing sets of 10 for 10 sets, just forever. I'm like, Gene, this doesn't weigh anything. Nope. He said, you want me to train you? So for maybe 6-8 weeks, I'm just doing these lightweight with really high reps. And I said, Gene, I'm going nuts. And he goes, okay, let's find out where you are. So he lets me pile weight on. I had my form down. I had built my base and my core. I didn't realize it. Mm-hmm. And I pulled like 400 plus the very first time he let me go up.
There you go.
So I mean, you learn it the right way. And you see me anytime all in the gym, I'll always tell somebody, hey, if they ask me, I will help them and show them how. I don't bother people, but I hate to see somebody doing something wrong. It's hard not to want to go over and say, hey, if you keep doing that, you're going to get hurt.
Yep.
But unless they ask, a lot of times I'm not going to stick my nose in it.
You and me both. That's usually how I do it. If they come and ask, or if they kind of looking around, I'll be like, you need some help with that? But yeah, if they over there just ego lifting for no reason, I just like, go ahead, do you, man.
Yeah.
I see people do heavy box squats where they hit the box squat. Somebody told me one time there's thousands of pounds of compression you put on your spine because of that.
Oh yeah.
So and I see somebody doing that. I go, man, you could cripple yourself doing that. Mm-hmm. But you hesitate to go say something to them. But I still think the gym's the safest place I ever go. So
it's like anything else, you got to be safe, and you got to.
Compared to softball, it's pretty safe.
Well, you thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I told him that's why I didn't like playing baseball, because I was always scared to get hit by the dang ball.
Man, softball's so fun. Softball is fun.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy because I think about it whenever I train people. I tell them, I'm like, it's gonna be repetitive. It's gonna be the same thing until you get it, until you get the fundamentals down, the foundation built, and then we can climb from there. Because once you build that foundation, it's gonna go like you said. You were able to load that up and go right up there. So, and that's the same thing I tell people, but it's kind of upsetting when people are like, this guy, he's just making me do the same thing. I'm like, dude, that's how it is. Like, until you get it down right, everything's, and I have to repeat. And I tell them, dude, this is how you're going to get better. But some people, they rather just take that shortcut and then end up getting injured, ego lift, whatever it is. But yeah.
Even when I was a peaked younger, my 30s, which was when I peaked powerlifting, people come up and go, well, what do you do? And I go, well, I squat, I bench, and I deadlift. They go, well, what do you do? I said, no, I squat, I bench, and I deadlift. And I might do box squats, or I might do, front squats, and I might, not box squats, but I deadlift, or just partial deadlifts, or inclines and decline bench. But I'm like, I don't have time for anything. I squat, I bench, and my deadlift. There's nothing I'm missing. And an Olympic committee says the number 2 overall total body exercise of all is a deadlift. The first one is a clean and jerk. Well, a lot of people shouldn't even be trying to do clean and jerks. So if you want a total body exercise, the number 2 is a deadlift. And look at somebody that's deadlifting heavy and see something that's not straining on them. If they're doing it right.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
I was just talking to somebody the other day about me having back issues, and I stopped doing deadlifts, and I noticed a difference. My pain came back because those muscles weren't as engaged as they were before. And now, I'm back to it, and I feel like it's okay. Now I'm, a little bit better. Those muscles are kind of getting more engaged. They're more, it's solidifying that area where it's not so vulnerable of, getting that pinched nerve or whatever it is.
I think another thing is when you're doing fitness, I think you notice I probably do one of the longer warm-up stretches of anybody in the Y. I start 20 to 30 minutes with just a stick or with a 5-pound weight, getting my shoulders and arms and neck and back and lower back, good mornings, twists side to side. And it's like people go, why do you do that? I go, hey, I could probably switch to nothing but a stick and stay in fairly good shape with all the reps I'm doing. Slunges, everything else. And I'm saying, but, one of the reasons I'm still in the gym is because I spend that much time stretching.
Absolutely. Yep. Something I've been doing as
well. There's a lot of, I would say that, almost anyone I see in the gym could benefit with more stretching.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, because that's something I've been working on too lately is my warm-up. Because my shoulders are bad at it. Like I said, if I try to jump into something, I can feel my shoulders just wanting to give out. But if I warm them up like I did today, and then everything was good. Everything was moving smoothly. So that is something that I had been trying to do a lot more often. Instead of being in such a rush to make sure we get that stretch, and get everything warmed up nice and good. Because I said, that's a quick way to, injure yourself. Like I said, if I don't stretch especially my shoulders, if I don't warm them bad boys up, they're the first thing to go. I don't know why, but they always are.
I agree with you. I probably have had more shoulder problems than anything else. I agree 100%. That's one of the reasons I quit Olympic lifting. It's really hard on your shoulders. It's a young man's sport. Powerlifting, you can peak in your 40s. You could peak at 50. But Olympic lifting, man, it's tough.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I can see that for sure. And when you think of like the shoulder, there's nothing really protecting that area. You got those little rotator cuff muscles, and then everything else kind of helping support it. So, yeah, you really got to take a little more, precautions to it. and, you know, doing like little warm ups or whatever. And that's exactly what you do. And that's exactly what you should be doing. Warm up before you attack it. Just like anything else, just like you would go on a field, warm up before you go and play. It's exactly what you need to do whenever you lift some heavy ass weight.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hey, so Tom, what was the record you broke at 26?
Gosh. I went to, well, it's funny. The first competition I ever did was a 2-man deadlift in Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
My partner, and this was really strange. I met a guy. Yeah. I met a guy in Oklahoma, and we went to 2-man deadlift, and he did sumo, and I had to stand real narrow. And he was a 220 pounder, and I was a 148 pounder. And we pulled 960. And another team pulled 960, but they were a 165 pounder and a 181 pounder, and we lost on body weight. So that was the first time I ever went. That was so much fun. But yeah, and I said, when I started, the main competitions were AAU. Now it's there's a couple different, United States Powerlifting Federation or NASA, National Athletic Strength Association. So I started breaking records out in California back in early 80s. And then I think one of the first big records I broke was, I think it was about 26, and I pulled 560, deadlifted 148 pounds. And just think about it. It took me 10 years to go from 560 to 600. I mean, once you get up there, I mean, every pound is a war.
Oh, yeah. Yes, especially at 148.
Yeah. Yeah. The most fun meet I remember was in San Jose, California. And a guy in my weight class set the world record in the bench, 427 that day. So he sets the world record in the bench, which is my weakness. 260, 280, I'm thrilled to death back then. So I squat maybe 470. He squats 4 something. He benches 427. I bench maybe 270. So I'm 100 something pounds behind him. And because he's very big chest, short arms, great bencher, he's a terrible deadlifter. He barely deadlifted his bench, a little over 400. So I just sat there and figured out, okay, I need a 561 or whatever. And I just passed. And I went up to the judge and I said, I'm raising my opener to 561 because I'm like, I either pull or I don't. Well, his whole team, they were all congratulating themselves and everything because they figured it was over. And I came out on stage and I was lifting with the 198 pounders. And everybody turned around and says, isn't that guy in your weight class? And I pulled that weight and won that meet. And it was more fun than almost any other meet. So, I mean, he got the world record, but I won the meet.
There you go.
So that's one of the reasons I always like. I always focus my squat and my deadlift because that's 80% of the total. I was never a good bencher. I mean, I could bench double my weight, but I was never a great bencher compared to other guys. I mean, it was like, okay, I benched because I had to. Other guys squat because they have to, and they love to bench. But if you're going to be a power lifter, it's all about core and leg strength, and the deadlift and the squat can complement each other. The bench doesn't, So I focused on the 2 big ones, and it paid off for me.
Absolutely. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Good job. Heck yeah.
See, 148 pounder bench 427.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Jeez. I see one of those guys in there at the Y, and he looks shorter than you and small, and he's over there repping out 225 on bench press. I'm like, what is going on over there? I thought he was gonna max out or something, but no, he's over there just
getting warmed up.
I'm like, what is going on? But I'd never see him on the squat rack Or yeah.
In a lot of gyms, you'll see 80% of the guys will spend 80% of their times on their upper body.
Mm-hmm.
And I spend 80% of my time on my core and lower body.
There you go.
You don't walk on your hands. You walk on your feet. So, but I mean, I'm not going to, I want to look good. I'm not going to, I'm going to have a chest day or a shoulder day or, I'll go over and jump the box. I mean, I like to do everything. I want to be, right now, I mean, I'm playing senior softball and there's 10 teams. I'm the fastest person in the league. So, I still want to work my speed. I still want to work my sprint. I still want to work jumping. Do it all. Do what you can. But, you shouldn't just do one thing. I mean, you watch somebody comes in and, curls look nice, but it's one of the least necessary muscles you have. I can get a beer can in my mouth without curling real heavy.
You're right.
So I curl enough to stay in good shape, but I don't spend a lot of time doing curls. I'm sorry. Whatever you love, do it,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Stay fit.
There we go. Exactly. I was about to say, what do you say to those who say, build the chest and fuck the rest? That's one of those sayings that people are saying out there.
We had in one of my gyms in California was a super heavy gym, had some world-class shot putters from Fresno State, stuff like that. We had a shirt that showed this giant guy, massive. And then we had drawn bird legs on it.
Yep.
Tiny little legs, with little. And it was a joke. We had about 50 of these made up, and guys didn't realize it. We'd give them out to guys. And it was our joke. It was our joke,
Yep.
To us. It was humorous, and we called it the Bird Leg Award. And these guys, would wear the shirt. We'd go, we were surprised they didn't get mad at us. But
yeah, right.
Like, oh, thank you.
It was just an inside joke, but
That's cool.
Calves are hard. I mean, you see people that don't have much calves. That's a nightmare to build calves. That's one of the hardest things in the world. You're either born with them or not, in my opinion. I don't worry about it. As long as I can squat and deadlift, I don't care what, but I think I probably went 30 years without doing a setup even too. I figure if you're working your core like squats and deadlifts and everything, you're going to have good abs. Mm-hmm. And then I think Omar said something like my abs look bad, so I started doing sit-ups.
Exactly what happened. You got to call them out when you can.
First time in 30 years.
No, I told him. One of the guys was over there shitting on him, saying that he left his guns or something. Robert.
This great big guy, Robert, and his arms are about the size of my legs, but he outweighs me about 100 pounds. And he goes, "Hey, what'd you do? Check your guns at the desk?" I said, "No, I left them in the car." He goes, "You dummy." He said, "I'm talking about your arms." I said, "As long as they can hold 500-pound deadlifts."
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yes. I'm going to use that. Okay. Because I was not blessed with the greatest limbs. Okay. But you know what? They can put some weight up, and then with Tom's help, hey, I'm up there. I'm going up there.
Absolutely. So, Tom.
Hey, that's the only time anybody pushed me and made me dumb enough to put 14 plates leg press.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll happen.
We did it.
That's your fault.
We did it. No.
It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah. We're doing it again next week. Be ready.
Yeah. Fitness is a life. And it's funny. I mean, people come in and when I trained, I coached basketball and high-level soccer, and I have a national license to coach high-level soccer. And people come up to me and say, look, your volleyball player, here's what we need to work on. Your soccer player, here's what we need to work on. You want to be a distance runner, here's things to supplement it. But fit, all kinds of fit. Every sport can be improved with fitness training, with strength training.
Absolutely.
Both my daughters played college soccer, and the younger was a 3-time ESPN All-American. And they could push some weight, and it paid off out on the soccer field because they were strong enough to, hold off and push. People think soccer's non-contact. Forget it. It's a lot of contact. So.
Yeah, I was playing with my son, and he wasn't learning. Okay, we were playing out there, and he kept kicking the ball really hard, and it kept hitting my foot, and it bounced at his face. It hit him like 3 times in a row, bloody nose and everything, and he kept coming back doing the same thing. It's like, dude, I felt bad, but I mean, that's a tough little dude right there.
It's my grandson got kicked really hard, came in right on his chest, took it on his chest, and then realized how much it hurt. And of course, at 7 years old, comes off the field crying, and I'm like, hey man, I was a goalie in college, and I still play indoor soccer and goaltend, and I said, that's what you're supposed to do. Put your body in front of your face, your nose. I said, this crooked nose came from a soccer ball. I said, that's your job. Get in front of that ball. So it's not a non-contact sport. But little kids, it was fun. It's fun to watch them learn. It's fun to get to coach them, too. I tell you, that's one thing I appreciate. I got to coach a lot of kids, and some of the best memories I ever have. Watching kids develop. I think about one time I figured out like over 40 girls that I coached over the years ended up playing in college.
Oh, wow. There you go.
That's awesome. Yes, dude. That's exactly what kind of impact I want to put on people too. Mm-hmm. Whenever I train them, I want them to, keep pursuing whatever goal they want to in that fitness realm. That's awesome though, man. Yes. See that, dude? Freaking Tom, man.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah. He's the guy, dude. He's the guy.
Tom, that's what would been a fun ride, man. I hope I get another. I don't know if I told you, I saw last year there's a 93-year-old bodybuilder. And I saw him in competition, and he was just having the time of his life out on the platform.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me.
And I'm like, that's my new hero, man. I want to be out there posting. 93, just having the time of his life. And you can do it. They've proven that you can take senior citizens in nursing homes and put them on a strength program, and they can build muscle mass and go, and next thing you know, they're doing things they hadn't done in 10 years. So you just got to keep pushing.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Hey, Tom, what does your diet look like? What do you usually eat throughout the week? You hit the one thing that I'm probably the worst at in the whole wide world. I was so hyper and so active, whether I was in the marathons, running 60, 70 miles a week or whatever, that I have never been able to eat enough. So I eat a lot of bad stuff because when I was running marathons, I would literally eat a quart of ice cream every night to try and get some calories after everything else because I couldn't hold my weight. I'm naturally right now, no matter what I do, I'm 146, 148 pounds. I can eat like a pig. I'm 146, 148 pounds. I wouldn't suggest many people do my diet. I never really supplemented. What I did was if I was training for a meet and I stepped on a scale and I was a pound heavier than I wanted, I kind of watched what I ate. If I was a pound lighter than I wanted, I ate a little more. But I've never been really good about diet because I could hardly ever get enough food.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't suggest anybody eat, I'm not terrible. I love fruit and I love vegetables, but I love some ice creams too.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, my wife. That's probably the one thing. I'm hoping that the fact that I've been hyperactive my whole life, I'm hoping that makes up for my poor diet.
Yeah.
Which that is good though. That you.
But I probably eat. There was times I was taking 7,000 calories a day and breaking even.
Wow.
You know, it's kind of you eat a lot of junk. You eat a lot more carbohydrates than you might want to, and I eat a lot more protein than an average person. But then I eat a lot of sweets just because I'm trying to keep my weight up.
I was about to say, because you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
Got to keep that energy up. Sheesh. Yeah, that's one thing that, you know, it's hard to kind of, everybody's different. That's what I always say to every person that I meet. You can't really gauge a person just by first look or what, you know, whatever they're doing at that moment. It's what they're doing like throughout the day, and their genetics is a big thing as well. So you got to put all that in combination. It's the process to find out, but you figured it out in a way where it's like, dude, I'm doing all this stuff. I can do this. But also that you know that you need to have that certain amount of protein also to maintain that muscle tone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I used to, when I would go into a training room, dead serious, you know, with a meat. You know, I would eat a ton of meat, chicken, tuna, salmon. I mean, everything I could get my hands on. But then I still ate a lot of other junky calories But as I'm finally, you know, I'm a little better the last few years. If I get on a training routine, I start taking a protein shake every day. You know, I usually throw a bunch of blueberries in there, you know, some antioxidants. Started doing a little creatine with my shakes. You know, so I have to do a little better now. A lot of that is because after I had cancer treatment, and the radiation kind of messes you up a little, and so I found that I have to almost take protein supplements now because I can't gain weight.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So,
and another question, Tom, real quick. So, you know, I don't remember exactly how old you are, but a little bit older. And I know a lot of people, they always find any kind of excuse to not work out or to not, you know, be active in any type of way, you know. So what do you tell yourself, or what kind of advice would you give somebody to just get up and get active? What do you tell yourself whenever maybe you're having a bad day and just not feeling like working out, you know, just having one of those days where like, I can miss it, you know, like you just said, I had cancer treatment. I've got all this stuff going on. I don't really need to go to the gym today. So what goes through your head in those days that helps you get up and get to the gym?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a full world-class gym in my basement. I have Olympic balance plates. I have treadmill, bikes, dumbbells, full rack. My power rack's better than the one at the gym. And I found, I mean, during COVID, you had no choice. Yeah. And I found that working out alone for a couple of years is like, man, I was craving people.
Yep.
You know, and if you can go to a nice, even when I wake up, I'm like, I really don't want to go work out today, but you know, if I don't, then Steve will say, where were you? And Bob will say, where were you? And hey, why aren't you? You know, and so if you get a little bit of if you're, my wife says I socialize with anybody at the gym. I work my job more than I work my body out, which I don't agree with her, but she says that. I think when you get a situation like that, you'll go more often. You'll do more. Yes. So, I mean, don't go to the gym and just like be by yourself. I mean, you know, heck with people and you'll find out that then it becomes a social thing too, and you'll go to the gym all the time. So when I ran, you know, when I was doing marathons, I mean, I loved having a training partner to go through it. I mean, you go for, 16-mile training runs, man. I mean, it's great to have somebody to run with. So even a runner, try and find you and run with you. lift with you. I mean, obviously, team sports are easy to do because you're interacting with people. But don't go to the gym. Go get on an elliptical. Be by yourself for an hour and go home. And it's like, yeah, you'll dread it. Be interactive. Visit with people. And make some friends at the gym. And you'll go, and then you'll go. You'll want to go. I mean, it's like, my wife going, you going to the gym? Yeah. And I'm going to the gym. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that really makes a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like I was the same way during COVID. We all I had a whole gym too. Pretty much had everything I needed in there. But after that, man, like you said, just needed to be out with some people. And it's that extra energy that I feel like the people give you. Some people don't really care for it, but I do like interacting with people and having that extra energy there to help you motivate you do that workout or just that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's really cool.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you get to a point, once in a while, I mean, and not often, but once in a while, somebody matches up with you, and it's your deadlift day and their deadlift day, and you push each other, and that's really good. But I mean, just being there to spot for somebody and to have somebody spot for you, and it makes it easier. I mean, like right now, if I got to get a workout at home, I'm like, oh man, I'm going down to my own gym now, But for 2 years, I never thought that way, But now it's like I probably work out at home twice a week, and I probably work out at the Y 5 or 6 days a week, which means I do double workouts some days, just depending on my mood.
Yeah.
That's really good. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing that I did.
I said, well, if you add it up about what
I was saying, because that's whenever we're talking about home gyms, it's kind of hard to kind of keep that in your routine because you see it's so convenient there. You're like, oh, I'll get to it eventually. And then it becomes the end of the day for people that don't usually work out or don't have it in their routine already. It's hard for them to stick to that instead of just driving where it's like, oh, okay, I'm already in the car. I'm already going. Now I'm going to work out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's different ways to look at that. But, yeah, that's a good way to look at it as well. Having that accountability from other people in the gym.
Absolutely.
Being like, dude, freaking Tom, where was he? He said he was going to deadlift with me today.
It's funny how many times if I've been gone on a business trip for even 5 days, I'll walk in a gym and go, hey, I haven't seen you. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I was here 5 days ago. I mean, but no, I mean, when you start getting into a routine and you're there 5-6 days a week, it's similar time frames, then you've seen the same faces and you've got friends,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Don't be scared to say hi to your friend or, ask if they need a spot anytime out there, because like I said, that's how some of my friends were made. Like, hey, man, can you spot me real quick? Like, no problem, man. Or vice versa. Like, hey, you might spot me real quick. And next thing you know, hey, what's up? My name is so-and-so. And, nice to meet you. And then from there on, it's just like, hey, man, how you doing? Hey, what's up? Good to see you again. Absolutely.
Segue to friendship.
Yep.
Boom. Yes, sir. Tom, so what do you think? What do you think is like the biggest highlight of your life through powerlifting?
Thus far,
exactly.
Well, I mean, powerlifting, it would have been 1991 when I won the nationals, and I ended up with the national championship ring. So that was pretty cool.
That's right.
It's one of the few times that they usually they had trophy. You get the rings for the champions, which was cool. I mean, I had some trophies. We packed them all up and gave them to Special Olympics, and they reworked them. But that ring was easy to keep, so it was kind of cool. That was the most fun. And the neat thing was my daughters were 4 and 6. And they were at that meet. My whole family went to watch me in St. Louis at that one. So that was the most fun. That was by far.
Awesome. Good deal.
Oh,
Congrats
awesome.
on that. Yes. Cool.
Yeah. But athletically, I think when I ran the Chicago Marathon and qualified for Boston, I was in my 40s and I did a 3:17. That was to me one of the toughest things I ever did too. So, and I wasn't a runner. I ran like a weightlifter, you know.
Oh man, that's my goal. I'm gonna go for that now.
That's work.
Yes.
That's work. I ran 3 marathons in 90 days at one stretch, and it tore me up. And I said, you know, I wasn't recovering fast enough. I said, you know, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
These guys that, you know, you really got somebody that runs a marathon every week or something. I'm like, you may finish a marathon every week, but you don't go and try and do a competitive run every week. You know, because I tried to like lower my times in a row, and I actually, my second and third marathon were slower when I ran that 3 of them in 90 days. I was not recovering, and I was down to 139, 37 pounds. I mean, somebody asked me if I was sick. They came because they hadn't seen me for a year, and I quit powerlifting, and they go, "Hey man, you've been sick?" And I go, "No, I'm running marathons." They go, "Oh." I lost like 15 pounds, and 15 pounds on me is a lot of weight to lose.
Yeah, I bet. Shoo, that's crazy, man. That's cool though. That's so cool,
that was
man.
Look what I got.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different, you know, there's like, oh, hey, I got a copy.
Yes.
I need my copy now. I need to get me one. Omar was telling me about it earlier. Congrats on that too, man. That's freaking awesome.
That was an interesting label. So yeah, it started out to be something to keep me from going nuts for 43 radiation treatments. Mm-hmm. Ended up a year and a half, 2 years later as a book.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
That was fun.
I love how you made that into a book.
Did you read it?
Yes, I read it. Dude, and I didn't even know.
It was
a lot of jobs and stuff. You were doing a lot of things.
Yeah,
quite a journey.
It was interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of life's journey, and it was a labor of love that kept me from going nuts. Because when you're doing radiation treatments, it takes about 2 minutes for the treatment, but you got 24 hours a day to kill.
Oh wow!
And so I ended up 43 treatments, and that's how it ended up being 43 days of reflections and ruminations. So it was it was kind of a labor of love there.
There you go.
So, but it's got stuff in there on training and fitness and coaching, and but a lot of things, life and God and religion, and so it was funny because when I got done that, my wife goes, "You ever gonna let me look at what you've been doing for the last 3 months?" And I said, "Okay." You know, she read it and she goes, "You got to let your brother see that." And I sent it to my brother, and my brother stayed up and read the whole thing. And he called me back and he goes, "You going to publish that?" I go, "No." He goes, "Well, you ought to let Carol, your sister, read it." And sent a copy to her, and she stayed up all night and read it. And she goes, "You got to publish that." And I go, "Nah." And she goes, "No, you need to." So spent about a couple months cleaning it up, putting it in the right format, sent it to some publishers, and then one of them called me and said they wanted to publish it. So it's been a unique journey.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yes.
So
yes, that's too cool, man. Too cool.
Yes. You know what, Tom?
The neat thing is that I've had people.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No,
I said I've had people that read it were 18 years old and were 80 years old. So that's kind of fun.
That's good, man. That's really good.
Had a little next door.
Reaches everybody.
Yep. I had a little next door neighbor come up to me, 8 years old, and he goes, "Did your dad really get shot in the head?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, my dad's reading the book to me."
Oh, wow.
that was.
So. I didn't read it to my son. I'm gonna have to do that now. Read it again. That's awesome, though. Tom, I appreciate you for sure, Tom. And I think we're gonna have to have you back on for sure to talk about more training. give us some more tips and stuff. Because,
And dive into
dude,
that book a little bit, maybe.
yes, get more into that book.
Absolutely. That.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
maybe we do a few things at the gym and get them online, and then come back and talk about them.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Of course. Yes. Dude, look at
I
that.
appreciate it, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate you, Tom. Thank you so much for coming on, man, and telling us a little bit about your life there. Honestly, it's an inspiration. Some of the videos Omar sends me of you working out and pushing that weight.
You know
I'm
what?
30 years old, and I feel like I can't even lift that weight sometimes. So, man, honestly, thank you so much for that.
Our biggest goal.
You guys keep promoting fitness and keep doing the job and getting the word out there. We need that.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Because that's what I was going to say. I was going to say our biggest goal is getting people off their asses and getting in the gym, going out running, walking, doing sports, doing
Get up,
anything.
get out, and get active.
By
Yes.
everything.
Hey, Tom, can you do me?
Move, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey,
Cool.
cheers to health. Look at that.
Cheers to health, Tom.
You take I'm going up and have my one medicinal beer.
There you go.